The following is a preview for the next Ultra Vegito chapter and may contain spoilers. Click off now if you'd rather wait. Even after seeing the clear difference in our powers, you still underestimate me so much that you think it's just because you're missing your sword? Do you really believe the utter garbage you're spouting out, or are you trying to make me angry? But Madara, now smiling cunningly back at Vegito, would then respond, "Oh, most definitely, my young friend. There isn't a shade of doubt in my mind. You'd be finished if I had my legendary blade back with me. I have mastered the art of swordsmanship over millions of years. There isn't a warrior alive who could best me when a katana is in my possession. You forget, those same sword skills you were so impressed by from Guts were all just the meager teachings I gave him while he studied under me. This isn't even a question. After all, you do remember what happened the last time you attacked me with my blade in hand, don't you, God Killer?" As behind Madara, a flashback is then seen to the moment the second instantly beheaded Vegito. The first time they ever clashed. And in final response, the God Killer would then curiously begin biting onto the glove of his left hand, slowly pulling on it until finally completely removing it and revealing his bare arm. Until suddenly, with his glove still in mouth, muffling his tones, Vegito would hold out his palm straight towards Madara with his energy absorption device on full show. This immediately alarming the second as he changes stance into one which is presumably defensive, as he yells back, "So, your response is just to blast me from all the way up there, huh? Cowardly move, mortal. But fine. Sword or not, I will still find a way to expose your weakness. You are nothing to me!" But as Madara rants on his assumptions, meanwhile, the shape of the giant energy apparition in the distance begins to distort, until beginning to suddenly fade away from the legs and arms first, and then finally, near completely, as it disappears into a swirl that seems to be centered all around Vegito. And of course, once we zoom in closer, we see the reasoning become obvious, as through his energy absorption device, Ultra Vegito takes in all of the energy that Madara had released to create the Titan. And eventually, nothing is then left, as everything vanishes in a puff of smoke. Delicious. With Vegito's own palm being red hot and smoking itself from just how quick and concentrated the energy absorption was, before then placing back on his glove with the lowest of urgency. Leaving Madara now open-mouthed, having seen this technique for the first time, as he comments, "This vile creature! So this is what you meant by tasting my energy. You can absorb it. Yet another thing you have stolen from me. Enjoy it while you can. But I warn you, that wasn't even a fraction of my true power." But nonchalantly, as Vegito with his folded arms descends to the ground with a muffled thud, he would just then say, "Oh, I know that. Would be a bit embarrassing if that was any real percentage of your energy, because I barely felt it. That might be because now your energy is meaningless to me, or maybe it's because you haven't got that little toothpick of yours to attack me with. And if that's what you think, who am I not to believe you?" Tell me, Madara, are you a righty or a lefty? Before, without any hesitation, Vegito suddenly lifts his arm to grab onto his right horn and then... With a raucous scream straight out of the pits of hell, Vegito's entire face becomes covered in veins as he seemingly begins yelling as if putting all his energy and strength into one mystery action. Huh? Now what is this freak doing? Another transformation? Panicking Madara as he begins to step back from the sudden change in mannerism from Vegito. Come on! As soon, something very interesting begins to be seen as Vegito slowly pulls out his horn until... Once fully pulled out, with a splatter of blood, what is inexplicably revealed is an entire katana at the base of the horn, covered in black lightning as a disorientated Vegito just lets out... Well, that's going to hurt in the morning. What is he? Leaving Madara now even more gobsmacked at what this supposed mortal can do, as he watches on wide-eyed, just muttering out incoherent sounds until... Yeah! I believe this will be a suitable replacement for what you had. It's imbued with half of my energy after all, so consider it evening the playing field. And just like that, Madara quickly grabs onto the handle as if second nature, peering at it from the side of his eye with curiosity taking in its obvious power. And now as silent as a baby given its dummy, Madara would then hold up the blade and stare down, assessing its quality before saying, Fine craftsmanship. The materials seem high quality too. This is the work of a mortal? Before seemingly all his confidence returns, as he pulls back the sword and stares at the now one-horned Vegito, and then saying, So, you say this blade contains half your power? Well, let us see if you're bluffing or not. Somehow, I don't think I should be trusting one as demonic as you. Let's see what this thing can do! As instantly, in a strange sword stance, the second then swipes his new blade with full power, striking nothing. But once we see things from Vegito's perspective, even with just a swipe in the air, a huge current of sharp wind rushes straight for an unmoving Vegito. And with Vegito's hair blowing in all directions, and rubble crackling on his body as the airstream gets closer and closer to him, Vegito would say, I told you so, before vanishing just in time, and then reappearing as just a stream of air from that one swipe leads to a massive mountain lion being sliced clean in half, as Vegito then asks with a smirk, So, does it meet your requirements then? Will I finally be able to see this true power of yours, Mr. Second? And Madara, now enthralled with his new weapon, would not even pay any mind to Vegito, as he would stare into the blade and with a smile say, Oh yes, this will meet the job and then some. I do believe you've made a grave mistake here, Vegito. It seems once again, you let your overconfidence create your downfall. And now I'm ready to put you down for eternity. Forget what that priest wants. I can deal with him later. I'm erasing you from existence here and now. As immediately, with his body contorted into his signature sword stance, the maskless Madara displays a quietly confident smirk, knowing full well in his mind how this battle will now go. Now that's the spirit! But as Madara's confidence grows, Vegito's enthusiasm does too. As with his arms folded once again, almost looking down at the second, he would simply just say, "Come then, I haven't got all day." With not a moment in vain, Madara would then blast off at Vegito with fury in his eyes, and his now demonic sword in hand. While Vegito himself would just begin angling his body forward with a cocky smirk, readying himself for battle, even with his arms still folded. And if you want more, the next video is already up live on my Patreon, right now live for over 4,200 plus patrons. Yes, 4,200 plus true Dragon Ball fans who are getting early access for life. And if you are one too, head there now, as the next video has an ending that is going to shock all of you and is very long. So join now and talk to me. Links are in the description and pinned comment.